Hello, thank you for joining RasPipKr tutorials. I'm Martin Parker, and in this video I'm just referring to a comment I got on one of my videos, how to add programs into the main menu on your Raspberry Pi on Raspbian or Raspberry Pi OS. And the comment is as follows. Good video, thank you. Only thing is my OK button is not highlighted, and he's figured out how, but he's mentioned a way to actually fix it. You don't necessarily need to actually do the change mod to make it executable, but the video that the way that I did it, I was using an executable, but in this video I'm going to show you how you can do it without. So let's get to it. Right, so first of all I've got in here, I'm just going to ls, I've got a little test.py. As you can see, it is not executable, and if I go to my desktop and ls there, you can see I've got a clock temperature, and that's not executable because it would be green if it was. So let's just clear all that off. And in fact I don't even need terminal. I've already prepared in here, I've done a test and a test 2, a clock test and a clock test 2. Basically the clock program, I should have kept my terminal. So if I run that clock, that test, sorry, python3 test.py, it basically just says that for 5 seconds and then it stops. The script is super simple, and I'll just bring that up. So there you go. So that's all the script is for that. So you can see what happens. Now if I run my test script, nothing happens. Yeah, and the reason for that is if I bring up my preferences and go to the menu editor, in here I've got my test scripts that I've done. If I double click on that, it brings up what it's showing. Now if you, let's get rid of all of this, so there's nothing in there, so the OK button isn't highlighted. So this is how a new item would be. In fact, let's actually just get rid of it and then we'll put it back in. You can see what happens as I go along. So I'm going to create, I'm going to get that script to do the test.py. So as you can see, the OK is not highlighting, but as soon as you enter something into the name, so this would be called test, if that was an executable it would be happy and the OK would be highlighted. But what you need to do is, because this is a command line option, so you need to tell it to use Python, and then you can actually click it. So I'm just going to put it to how it was, so I'm going to click OK. I'm going to keep that as well because I'm going to show you the difference. So if I run test again, so there's no difference to the previous run, but this time if I run test 2, you'll see that it actually brings up a window, and I'm going to show you the difference of test 2. So even though it wasn't an executable, so I'll just bring that back over, and test 2, if I double click that, all the difference is I've got a 2 on the end, and if I click in here, just move my cursor around so there's nothing at the beginning, and the only difference is I've clicked launching terminal. Okay, so bearing that in mind, so don't worry about that. But this time, if you're using something that it has to be, it's like a GUI, and you want to have something to run like a script, so I've got a Python Takinta widget that pops up. It shows the time and the, well, basically it is a clock. So what I'll do is I'll just show you the way that I've got this. So I've got this exactly the same as test 2, and the only difference is that it's called a different file, and the name is clock test. Okay, so I'm just going to close that. This time I'm going to bring up clock test, and you see how I get a Python terminal window because you've ticked the Python, the terminal checkbox, but you've got this, which is what I wanted. So how you can get around that is, if I close that, using clock test 2. I'm not using the terminal, still going to be running the command line, but if I go to the very end of it, if you put a space and then an ampersand or an and symbol, however you want to refer to it, and then I'm just going to click OK. So that is there. I'm going to get rid of that now because I don't need that. And now if I click clock test 2, you can run your non-executable Python scripts without a pointless terminal window. Okay, so awesome. I do have a temperature sensor sat on my Raspberry Pi because I'm doing a different project, so it's taking the reading from that. So there you go. Thank you for watching, and I hope this cleared things up. And thank you for the comment from the viewer Jovan. Please excuse me if I've said that wrong, but thank you for the comment anyhow, and I hope that clears things up. Thank you.